In 1787, there was a scientific breakthrough from a German physicist named Immanuel Kant. His scientific breakthrough holds the key for us to achieve more in our life, whatever more means for you. It's very simple, but it's not easy. But this key holds more wealth, more happiness, more whatever you want. So stay tuned to find out how you can start using this key today. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Market Disruptors. Now I know most of you guys are following this channel because you love my advice on investing, specifically around Bitcoin and decentralized cryptocurrencies. Now I'm going to continue to bring that information to you every single Thursday. As a matter of fact, we have one dropping on Thursday that's going to be massive, so make sure you stay tuned. However, I told everybody that starting after the first of the year, I would bring you a second video every single week. Now, investing is something that you do with money that you can afford to lose. After you've paid yourself, you've put money into savings, you've lived, then you invest with the extra money. So I'm going to do a second video every Tuesday of the week, and it's going to be before you invest. How do you get the money to invest? How do you grow your business? How do you do your mindset? And I'm going to bring a video like that every week. So continue to tune in on Thursdays for investing Bitcoin cryptocurrencies, and tune in Tuesdays for my Before You Invest series. All right, you ready? Today's the first episode. Let's do this. It was August 26, 2018. Residents of a small group of islands in the South Pacific were running for their lives. Water was flooding in, wind was going so fast it could rip roofs off. And while one group was terrified for their lives looking at this storm, there was another group, a group of surfers, that were looking at the same storm and recognized they could have the time of their lives. These surfers were trained and they had the right equipment. They had wave runners like this, like I use, to go chase big waves. They had big boards. They had the equipment to go chase the waves. So even though the two groups were looking at the exact same thing, a storm, they saw completely different things. That's what we call a paradigm shift. A paradigm shift is learning how to be in the same situation but look at it completely differently. And this is the scientific breakthrough that Immanuel Kant had. And if we can learn how to use it, if we can learn how to harness a paradigm shift in your own life, it can unlock enormous possibilities. So let me explain how we're going to do that. All right, so how are we going to use a paradigm shift to really change our lives? So there's lots of ways, but I'm going to explain one that I think is really going to set the stage for future conversations. So what we really want to do is we need to take control of our own lives. We need to take responsibility for our own lives. We have to learn that we are the masters of our future, and we do that by looking at ourselves as a CEO, all right? A CEO, a chief executive officer. You typically hear that being used with like large corporations, public companies, a CEO. Now, you might say, well, I'm an employee. How could I be a CEO? And that's where the paradigm shift comes in, all right? So even though you're looking at the same situation, you're actually something different. So you may be an employee, you may be a small business owner, you may be retired, but you can still look at yourself as a CEO of your life. So what is a CEO? The CEO is the one that runs the company. They're the ones that oversee everything. They're the ones that oversee the accounting, the budgeting, the marketing, the sales, the human resources, all of those things, right? And they are the ones that are responsible for the strategic vision. Where is the company headed? What is the company culture? That's what the CEO does, and it can't be outsourced. They have to do that. And you're responsible for the same things in your life, right? So you're responsible for where your life is headed. You're responsible for what the strategic mission is of your life. You're responsible for the values and the culture that you want to have, all right? And just like a CEO is responsible for marketing and sales and budgets and research and development, you also have those same areas, even if you're retired, even if you're an employee. So think about it. A CEO oversees sales and marketing, all right? But you're an employee. You don't have sales and marketing. Well, yes, you do. Your marketing is your personal brand. It's your message that you put out to the world. Are you on social media? You're putting out a message to the world. How are you dressing? You're putting out a message to the world. How is the shape? How is your health? Those are all messages that you're communicating. That's your marketing. Now, a CEO oversees sales for a company. Sales are income. That's revenue. A company sells products. They get revenue from one vendor, multiple vendors, accounts. And you also do. You have income coming in, whether that be retirement income, passive income, active income, you're an employee. That is your income. That is your sales. Now, if you want to grow that number, you increase your sales. Well, how do you do that? You can find new customers. You can bring in new customers, more customers, multiple streams of income. Companies, a CEO might oversee research and development, product development. As an employee, you also have product development. What are you developing in your own life? What skills are you learning? What skills are you growing? What new products can you bring? Right? If a company wants to make more money, they have to bring on a new product. They have to spend a long time learning to build a new product, learning what the market wants for this product, and then they launch that product and customers bring them money for that. And you, as an employee, as a small business owner, can also be the same way. What skills can you learn? What does the market need? What could you learn in your life that you could sell to the market, that you could bring in more revenue for? Right? A CEO also runs he's in charge of the CFO, the financial officer. They're in charge of the finances. They have to deal with the budget. And whether you're an employee, small business owner, self-employed, or retired, you also have to oversee the budget, the income, and the expenses. So you see, you're in the exact same role. You are a CEO, but you have to learn to look at your situation differently. All right? Once you can approach it like a CEO and realize, okay, I am the CEO of my life and I'm responsible for my sales, my marketing, my budgeting, and all these factors, that's the very first step to taking control. Once you accept responsibility and can take control, then you can grow it. All right? So how do you do that? So the first thing you have to do is you have to assess where you're at today. Right? That's the very first thing. So you need to get out a piece of paper and you need to write down, what is my marketing message that I'm sending out to the world? Whether that be as a small business owner, self-employed, employee, or not employed at all. What is my marketing looking like? Where is it at? What is my social media saying? How many followers do I have? What's my reach? You have to say, what are my sales? Where is my income coming? Am I happy with those sales? Do I have more than one customer paying me, more than one account, more than one revenue stream? Is it enough? I need to look at my budgeting. Is my income and expenses lined up? Is there enough income left over after I pay everything to invest into research and development, into myself, into my product? And you need to write down all of these things. And they need to be written down because you need to be able to look at them and you have to be able to assess every single one. You have to be ruthless. And a lot of people don't do this because they don't want to see this. They'd rather be like an ostrich with their head buried in the sand. But you have to be ruthless. You have to be able to look at each one of these things objectionably. And you have to understand where you're at because that's the first step. Now, once you understand where you are, then you can make a plan to where you want to go. It's like if you were at the mall and you got to this big sign and you're trying to find your way to get to a location in the mall, the first thing the map is going to show you is you are here now. Once you understand where you are, you can map to where you want to go. So you need to look at yourself as a CEO, look at your life like a business. You need to be ruthless in your assessment. You need to write everything down, and then you can make a plan for where you want to go. What does your marketing message say and what should it say? What can I do to change my marketing? What is my income looking like? What are my sales looking like? What can I do to change my income? If I need to bring on new products, what am I doing to develop new skills, new products that I can bring to the market, right? And you need to look at each of those things, all right? When you can learn to think about them differently, learn to think like a CEO regardless of the position you're in. Take a ruthless assessment of all those areas of your life, like a business, and then make a plan to grow each one. Then you're gonna find success, all right? You have to take responsibility. That's the first step. You have to take an assessment and you have to make a plan. Now, I wanna bring more content to you and I wanna show you how to grow each one of those areas, all right, strategically, methodically, all right? I'm going to show you, and it's much easier. Now, these are simple things, but they're not easy because it requires work. But I know you can do it, and the first step is to change your thinking. Change your mindset, take responsibility, be the CEO that you are. Do it for 2019, do it for the future, do it for your legacy, do it for your family. All right, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for joining Market Disruptors. To your success.